right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a mix session today, live mix session. And guys, I've got a really sick project that we're working on today. Before I spill the beans on what we're working on, let me show you guys what we're listening to. This is my track Creme de la Creme. It is off of my upcoming EP, Last to Leave Earth, which drops in 9 hours, 8 hours, 58 minutes, and 55 seconds. In case you were curious, down to the seconds when this is dropping. But yeah, this is coming out at midnight tonight. I'm so excited. Last to Leave Earth. It's just like a ton of really feel-good kind of stuff. Very uplifting, positive. I don't know. I like it, man. I like it. I'm just gonna drop in chat a little pre-save link for anybody trying to find this. And of course, I am TapDaddy on Spotify. If you guys are trying to find me, yeah, this is me. Go check it out if you're trying to find the music. It's good stuff. Anyways, on to the project, guys. On to the project. I'm going to pause that because, guys, I've got a very important project that I plan to be working on today. Something very near and dear to my heart. This one is the title track for my upcoming EP, Snack Time for Turtles. Yes, that's right. We're going to be mixing down Snack Time for Turtles today. This is honestly, and you know, just like a little bit about this project before we really dive into it. These were all just like, I don't know, like beats that I just made for fun on stream with you guys, honestly. I've just had an eccentric couple of song names in my phone. You know, I always like keep a list of potential song names, and for some reason under the potential EP names and potential album names, I don't remember when I added this name, but Snack Time for Turtles has always been a name on my albums ideas list. So I should play for you guys Snack Time for Turtles, and I think you guys will get the gist of what this EP is. So let's dive into it. Let's give ourselves our first listen through Snack Time for Turtles. Here we go. Oh, it's loading. It's loading the background noises. We got to get the birds in there. Come on. I know what I'll do. I will reload the project. You know, it's the first playing through of the project, so let's see. Save. I didn't change anything, so... Oh, wait. No, I did. Okay. Yeah, I swapped out some... I moved samples in my file system, so it's the same samples. It's the same song. It's just different location in the file system. That's what I changed. Okay. I got it. Anyways... Man, I'm excited to dive into this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited. So, yeah, this is I would describe this as a very, very wholesome trap kind of beat. And I don't make much trap, but boy, when I do, I love it. I really love it. This is kind of eccentric. It's kind of eccentric. It's kind of jazzy sort of stuff. I don't know. All right, man. And I got my coffee. Having a good day. But yeah, man. So this is going to be a 4-track EP, just in case you guys are curious. The title track, what we're about to listen to, what we're about to mix down. This is actually the last track that you land on this EP. I like it. It just kind of like lands you in a really good vibe, you know. That's kind of the idea of this, is I kind of throw some eccentric sounding tracks at you, and then I end on Snack Time for Turtles. And it's quite a vibe. One that we'll be diving into as soon as Ableton figures its shit out. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. It is thinking about it. Oh, here we go. All right, let's dive into it. So, guys, I humbly present to you Snack Time for Turtles. Ooh, yeah. That's gonna be great. Okay, do you guys see my vision here? Okay, this is Snack Time for Turtles. Okay, this is the last track on the EP. It is the title track. And it's like after I send you, I throw you guys through some eccentric kind of beats, I land you on something sweet and rewarding, you know, something really nice. I like this, man. I like this so much. Oh man, so starting off, I see we have a max peak value of about +4. I want to get us like way under that, you know? So I'm going to turn this down quite a bit, and I encourage you guys to turn your volume up, you know? That's kind of, you know, I'm asking you guys to follow along in my mix session here. We're adjusting volume here. By the way, what's up, Aiden? How you doing, man? How you doing? Welcome on in, dude. Let's see. How much do we want to turn this down? It's +4.11. And really the objective, like, there's no, because I hear people ask this question a lot, like, you know, how much headroom, like, is 6 decibels the correct amount? Nothing is that objective, okay? Like, when it comes to, like, really, the only thing that matters is that the max peak value is below 0. But, I want to overshoot that and give ourselves some headroom because I want to be able to bring things up a handful of decibels without worrying about throwing us over the max peak value of 0, right? So I think given that it's positive like 4, we're going to turn this down by like 8 decibels, maybe even 10. Yeah, maybe 10. This is going to be quiet. It's going to be really quiet. Yeah, okay, so now I would encourage you guys to turn up your volume a little bit. I'm going to turn down my microphone. Yeah, let's see. Test. No, that's up. Test. Oh, that's as low as it goes. Okay, that's fine. I'll just speak softly to you guys. Hey, we got callers. What's up, dude? It's good to see you, man. Welcome on in. You got here to see me mix down the title track to my new EP, Snack Time for Turtles. But yeah, Aiden says, do you ever rename your MIDI/audio tracks? Never. No, I'm kidding. No, I absolutely do. And honestly, when I'm mixing by myself, right? I oftentimes don't, unless if I'm working in a very large project where I need to really keep track of like what groups are what. I definitely title everything before sending it to anybody, though. You know, everything that I mix down gets stemmed out and put up on my BeatStars, and I think that it is essential to really appropriately name everything, because I don't know what mix engineer is going to get these stems. Okay. Like maybe if I'm just sending something to a friend, but even then it's like I want to be courteous to people and let people know what they are sifting through, right? So that way they can kind of group all of the drum stems together. They can group all of the guitars together, you know? So I don't know. I think honestly, like seriously, if you guys are, just life pro tip, if you're trying to impress the people around you, if you want to be seen as professional, like you know what you're doing, you don't always have to know what you're doing, but the more organized that you are, you know, I think it kind of gives off the right impression, you know. But yeah, anyways, I see Color saying I'm not going to stay for too long. It's good to see you in any case, man. Just wanted to hop in for a sec. Hell yeah. Well, it's always good to see you, man. Oh, Nix, dude, Colors, I have some news for you, actually. I think that you might particularly appreciate this. So I've got an album coming out at midnight tonight, Last to Leave Earth. You remember that song Precipice? I remember you liked that song. I just wanted to let you know that it's getting a re-release tonight at midnight on the Last to Leave Earth album. I don't know. My wife has even been telling me, like, you need to tell Nix that Precipice is coming out again. So anyways, we're breathing new life into it, man. Yeah, he's like, I do. I'll just leave this pre-save link for anybody that is looking for it. If you guys want to go check it out, this is an entire EP of very, very uplifting, positive, very, very confidence boosting kind of hip hop. So there's another link. I dropped it earlier, but just in case if any of you guys are trying to find it. Yeah, he's like, dude, Precipice is so good. I'm glad that you still remember that, man. I'm really glad you still remember that. Yeah, it's been one of my favorites, and honestly, I was spitballing ideas back and forth with my wife about upcoming EPs. She actually came up with the concept for Last to Leave Earth. This concept of all of these very, very like positive, uplifting, catchy sounding boom bap tracks. And we both kind of agreed. She was the one that really brought Precipice to the table and was like, no, people need to hear this song. This was a lost gem, you know? So yeah, I see Aiden saying excited for the album. Oh, thank you, man. I seriously, for anybody that goes and checks it out, like I kind of realized that our YouTube and Twitch audience is very different from like my listeners on Spotify. But to any of you guys that go and check this out when it drops tonight at midnight, I sincerely appreciate you guys. I sincerely appreciate it. This is, man, the projects, they're dropping. Speaking of which, though, let's get into it. So we just turned everything down, right? Just turned everything down. Now I think that we can really begin with a first pass of gain staging, which is just purely when we are adjusting the decibel levels of things, you know? Yeah, Aiden says, are you going to listen to Drake's new EP tomorrow? No. I'm sorry. And I don't want you to offend anybody that's a fan of Drake. I've never really listened to Drake, and I don't think I'm going to start listening now, you know? I don't know. Okay, so I guess I followed the Kendrick-Drake beef quite closely because, quite honestly, that was the most entertaining thing that has happened in hip-hop in like a decade, genuinely very entertaining to watch some of the largest in the industry go head to head, and it, not gonna lie, kind of satisfying to watch Kendrick just come out on top. I think that, but what's crazy to me is I hang around on Reddit, right? And for some reason, r/Drizzy posts keeps getting recommended to me. And I've even tried to chime in on a few posts, and I don't know, because people are discussing, and I'm a fan of hip hop and I discuss things, right? But I am shadow banned from r/Drizzy, right? And because I've said some things there that would surely get downvotes, but no, yeah, I must be shadow banned on there, right? It made me really realize, Drake fans on Reddit they are in an echo chamber, because the moderators of r/Drizzy will not let anybody speak illy or be critical of their king, Kind of, I don't know. That's my observations. I feel like a lot of Drake fans right now are kind of delusional, but I mean, I'm sorry. Is that too mean to say? I just feel like it's, their view of Drake and what's happened to him does not align with reality, I guess, But yeah, Color's saying, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched your Twitch streams in a while. Yeah, he says also, I don't really have anything to share. It's all good, man. Says, I'm not promising anything, but I might start figuring out a little EP or album. You should, man. You should. That sounds great. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and he was saying, what did you do, Tap? Oh, I don't know. I think I was I don't know. Somebody was. I think I politely suggested that regardless of whether you like Kendrick or you like Drake or you hate Kendrick or you hate Drake, you kind of got to acknowledge that Kendrick, at least in the public's eye, has won the rap beef, and I think that got me that got me shadow banned from r/Drizzy, insinuating that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Hayden. I wouldn't go that far, but I would say maybe not so much that, but I would say that and again, I don't mean to offend anybody because I'm not a political streamer, but I would say that Drake fans right now seem like the Republicans of rap music, in that they live in an echo chamber that does not align with reality. That's kind of, I guess, how I feel. Hey, White Gorilla, how you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, he says it's like that for a lot of idols. There's always people who are gonna be, my guy's the GOAT, especially for people like Taylor, Kendrick, Sexy Red, etc. Of course, yeah, I agree. There's always gonna be the hardcore stans. He says it's the way of the world. The world works for a lot of people. Yeah. I think that's also just how people choose to consume popular culture, I think for a lot of us, it's something that we casually, passively enjoy, and then maybe there are a handful of things that we get really passionate about. But I will say, I think for some people especially, it is part of their personality to be incredibly passionate about the things that they like, and, therefore, it's gonna, there are gonna be some people that are gonna be incapable of seeing flaws with their idols, Yeah, and he says, but for me as a Christian, I don't even pay attention to others' idols, and I don't even listen to their music at all. And I would say, I kind of empathize with you there, where I feel kind of disconnected from popular culture, in that a lot of the music that I like to listen to is not popular charting music necessarily. In fact, I would say some of my favorite stuff is just so underground that I'm probably larger than a lot of the artists that I listen to. There's one song that I came across on TikTok the other day that it was this artist has 300 monthly listeners on Spotify. It has been like my favorite song that I've been listening to all month, you know? And I guess in that sense, I'm just like a general fan of music, and I kind of like what I like. And sometimes it's really popular stuff, So like I was enjoying some of the Tommy Richmond stuff. What was his name? Million Dollar Baby guy. I liked a lot of the sound that he was playing with. It was interesting, and it was kind of a new take on kind of an older sound. So I can appreciate some popular culture. I just feel like I'm a little bit more disconnected where, I don't know, I've got certain niches that I'm very passionate about. Like, for example, I would say Nujabes is one of my favorite producers. I love Nujabes. I've studied his discography extensively. I love A Tribe Called Quest. That their discography, especially just like some of the best albums that I've ever heard, like Midnight Marauders and The Low End Theory, just some of my favorites. MF Doom has shaped my musical tastes, and I guess at one point these were like super popular, but I feel like maybe by today's standards not so much, but we'll see. Anyways, hey, take it easy, Colors. It was always good to see you, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, Aiden saying, bro tried to sue not only the person who dissed him, but the record label he's under, which he's also under. Yeah, that astounds me, okay? And this is where I feel like r/Drizzy is kind of delusional, okay? They are rallying behind this lawsuit, like, yeah, he's been wronged. I would sue too. And it's like, you don't know anything about lawsuits. Like, what are you guys talking about? You would sue too. You guys are, so out of touch, so crazy. I don't know, man. I think that, we'll let I don't think he's going to win that lawsuit personally. But then again, I'm not a lawyer. But I think, like, really, though, outside of the courts, where it matters the most in the court of public opinion, that was a bad move for him to make this such a public thing. Because I think that that's one of the worst things he could have done after losing this beef, was to then basically put on his Karen wig and go call the manager and be like, yeah, what's so stupid about it is he's like, like Kendrick botted his strings. You know what, guys? Earth-shattering news to you guys. Every single popular artist, like charting artist that you have ever seen on the charts, that you have ever heard, has pretty much botted their Spotify. This is how the industry works, okay? The difference between 1 billion streams and 500 million streams is not as big of a difference as it is between 1,000 streams and 40,000. So like small fries, you're going to get caught. They're going to come down on you. But the labels know this, that they can, the difference between 500 million and 1 billion is very minuscule. And they've gamified it. They've made it so that that's the norm, that you bought your streams in order to hit the charts, right? To remain competitive on the charts. There's a lot of artists have come out and basically admitted this and talked about this at length, that this is how these record labels are run. Who was it that was really blew the whistle? Was it Russ? I can't quite remember. But point is, this is something that I guarantee has happened on Drake's numbers as well. So he's blowing the whistle on a genuine issue, I would say. I don't think that honestly, I kind of wish that Spotify would crack down on the vast amount of bots that are on their platform, because it's crazy, the amount of bots that are just kind of flying around Spotify is honestly nauseating. But like, I do think though that it's very self-serving of him to blow the whistle on it, and he himself probably has quite a few botted streams on his as the number one charting rap artist. Are you kidding me? Of course he's got botted streams. So I don't know. That's my opinions on it. That's my big rant. Anyways, I should get started on this, but I'm down to keep discussing topics with you guys. I like chatting while I work. So yeah, let's just keep pecking at this. And I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on it? I am curious. Do we have any Drake fans here? Is anybody still? Because I would be curious to hear from you if you are still a Drake fan. Because I don't think it's like such a sin to still like Drake. I just think that, you know, like what I see going on in r/Drizzy is pretty, you know, yeah. Yeah, Aiden's like, well, Kendrick is actually the number one rap artist of today. Yeah, I mean, he took it, man. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. These kicks need to come harder. Okay, it's starting to get up there. Wow, I've really had to boost the signal on these kicks. Also, these kicks aren't the most evenly, like, velocity-wise. We're gonna have to kind of sort that out. See, I'm not... I part of me kind of wants to take all of these guys and just slam them to the roof. But there are some where it might be advantageous for it to be like a little bit of a lower velocity, you know? But I think I'm going to go ahead and slam these to the roof, and we can decide if some of these need to be a lower velocity. Boop. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking maybe this guy could be a slightly lower velocity, but nothing too drastic. And also, like, dude, the snare needs to, like, smack. We're gonna focus mostly just, like, on the gain staging of things before we really start, like, maybe playing around with some drum buses, kind of colorizing it. I think that just a general approach to mix, start with the foundations, start as simple as you can, start with, you know, as few craziness going on, just as cleanly and as simple as possible. And then you can kind of expand outwards and colorize it. I think that if you're, you know, if you pace yourself and you start with the gain staging, you have much clearer direction moving forward, right? But yeah, Lil Robin Hood Breezy is a Drake fan? He would be. No. Yeah. No, I can't follow it. What's going on with his Spotify the other day? But by the way, I'm sorry. We just like watch everybody that we know. We've seen Lil Robin Hood's Breezy's numbers do funny things lately. His numbers always do funny things. I think he's up to some funny business. But you didn't hear it from me. It's funny. Yeah, the NFL game was crazy. I didn't really watch. I just kind of like saw the highlights of it, you know. But yeah, White Gorilla says, I once said something about everyone who's singing the song about Drake being a pedo was probably singing it because they didn't want to get called out, which was a funny thought. A GOAT fan got mad fast. I don't know. I don't know, man. I guess in terms of that, I would say, like, I guess you know, because there is such a thing as projection, right? Of people projecting, you know, of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm highly suspicious of anybody who's ready to call everybody pedophiles, right? Like that's, to me, I'm like, okay, maybe we should keep this guy away from youth groups, right? That's kind of how I feel about people that project like that, right? But at the same time, I think that, you know, you got to also kind of acknowledge that, like, it's not that everybody is just in on this because they don't want to be the not like us that everybody's chanting about, right? It's, to some degree, you got to kind of recognize that there are a lot of people that really relished in this cultural moment and enjoyed that. You know, I would say me being one of them. And I'm not like the hugest Kendrick fan, but like, damn, I really enjoyed watching this whole drama go down, you know? It was good. Yeah. Aiden says, you're following Lil Robin and Breezy? No, honestly, okay, being completely real with you, Aiden. Something that I noticed the other day was Spotify was changing how they were handling botted streams, right? So like they were, because we were noticing funny numbers all around. So I don't mean to call them out publicly, but we were like, oh, who do we know that does funny things with their numbers? Let's go see what their numbers look like. And that's who we thought of, honestly. We were all like, who's doing funny numbers? Who's doing funny things with their funny numbers? Oh yeah, let's go check on what Lil Robin Hood Breezy's Spotify looks like. We're watching. We see when people are doing funny things. No, I'm not trying to call you guys out or anything. But that's literally why, if you're curious, why we were looking at Spotify is because Spotify was making changes to how they handle artificial streaming, and we wanted to see what that looked like. I don't know. But no shade to Lil Robin Hood, like, genuinely. I don't want you going telling him, Tef's talking mad shit. No, not really. Okay, so we were playing around with these first couple ones, right? Yeah, and I think that's pretty much what I want to do. We'll just keep it like that. Let's copy this down. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. There we go. Yeah, he says he doesn't even watch this stream, though. That's what I'm saying, man. Don't go telling him that I'm starting shit. Shh. I'm just goofing with ya. Yeah, White Gorilla saying, I understand that it's hard to make beats. When I was trying to wing it at some point, it was hard to single out specific beats and make a loop beat. I kept deleting the other ones and couldn't focus on it. Yeah. Yeah, White Gorilla's like, I'll link him. No. No. Honestly, like, look. I guess I would just say this on the topic of it, because we're, just because we're kind of discussing it. If you are trying to manipulate your numbers, just know that there's a lot of people that know what it looks like when you are manipulating numbers, when numbers don't add up. And so there's actually a lot of people out there that are doing funny things with their numbers, right? I see them all the time because I work in music. I know so many artists and I see it all the time. But yeah, it's like, it's easy to spot. He's one of them. And honestly, we were just looking at his Spotify because of, a change that Spotify was making. I don't know if they're sticking with that change, because I feel like they're I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on like what Spotify's doing until I understand more about it. So, But it is kind of helpful to know, like, oh yeah, who can we look at that that is doing funny things. Well, we know a couple of people that do funny things, so, you know. All right, we need to turn up this snare. And I'm going to keep these hi-hats kind of low, you know? Do they ever make their numbers say it funny, as in 69, 69? You know? I've never seen somebody so bold as to do that yet. I'll let you know, though, if I see it. Okay, so these drums are running a little bit hot. I feel like we're not quite there yet, though, you know? Now that we've kind of gain staged them, though, I think we're doing pretty good. Oh, you know what? I need to change. Did I get the rest of these? I need to. Let's see, where were we at? Yeah, this guy. Okay. See, I'm getting distracted midway through what I'm doing. That's on me. That's on me. All right, there we go. Yeah. If I was you, I'd make the bass hard. There is no bass in this. And I actually really like that for this track. Sometimes I purposefully choose to not include a low end to make the song feel a little bit brighter, you know, a little bit lighter, brighter, a little bit more carefree, you know? All right. Let's see. So we've got this gain staged. Let's see. And I'm kind of thinking that now we're probably at a pretty good spot to start playing around with some drum buses, some processing. Now, I'm probably going to want to do this differently than I do like a lot of my boom bap processing. So rather than heading straight for Decapitator, I'm thinking I'm going to bust out this little drum bus from Somatics called Diablo. It seems to work really well with trappy drums, kind of making them punch up a little bit more. It's kind of taken some of the oomph out of the bottom. But if I turn that mix down, we might be able to get the best of both worlds. Whew, okay. It's still a little bit extreme, right? We kind of want to smooth this over a bit more. And you know what's also going to help? Is we're going to do probably a little bit of side chaining. We're going to experiment with some side chaining with these kicks. And that's going to naturally make it feel much heavier, much bigger. Oh, the trumpets, a little high pitched. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna leave them alone. Really, we're not doing any production details today. This song pretty much is what it's gonna be. Right now, we're just like really in the process of mixing, which you know, just to kind of like summarize, kind of a layman's view of like what is mixing, what are we focused on when we are mixing. It really just comes down to making the most balanced and clean sounding track possible, right? So it has nothing to do with loudness per se. It has everything to do with balance. It is purely about balance. Like loudness, you could think of loudness as it is, it is all relative to how loud you are choosing to listen to it, right? And of course, you know, we'll get it up to full volume when it comes to like mastering. That's what mastering is now taking this well-balanced thing and bringing it up to this to a commercially viable loudness that it's going to sound good next to other songs on the radio, you know? That's basically what mastering is kind of like the final cut where you're getting it up to that loudness. But mixing has nothing to do with loudness. It's all about the balance, and that's really what we're focused on here. We're going to make this sound very vibrant and full and just you know, just feeling good, feeling light and breezy. All right. So I'm already thinking we've got these birds in the background over here. What if we had the kick in the drums kind of like do a little side chain? So there we go. We just duplicated these. Now we're going to turn this top guy off. That's not going to be heard, but let's solo it. And let's just make sure that we're only getting the kicks. And alternatively, we could include the snare if we wanted to give a little bit of weight to that. We'll make a decision about that later. Yeah, we'll turn off that snare for now. All right, so now we're just using this signal. Let's bust out our glue compressor. We're going to set up a side chain. Glue. All right, all right. All right. Oh, wait. No, wrong track. What am I doing? Down here. That's where we want it. All right. Now let's get a nice satisfying ducking going on. I think I kind of want to keep these as kind of as minimal as possible. So that's what that's doing, is it's just ducking it down. It might be a bit much. I kind of want to like get just these last two guys on some of these chords, like this guy. I'm not sure if I'm vibing with that. We can kind of glue it together, maybe using like one of these guys. And I'm thinking we'll do the same thing for this. Yeah, the more I hear this side chain, I think we want to go a little bit more minimal with it. In fact, I think I'm just going to keep this middle guy. There we go. Oh, this just sounds lovely. I'm thinking, okay, so on this guy, we've got a little bit of micro shift. That's nice. That's giving us some width. That's what it sounds like without it. That's quite transformative, right? I'm thinking I want to put a little bit of LA2A on here. And then we'll kind of regain stage it. Now, it's going to be kind of a question of whether I want to compress before or after the micro shift. Oh, you see, that feels a little bit more full now. Now that that's a little bit more full, it's essentially about the same volume, but we might turn it down a bit. What if we put like the tiniest little splash of reverb on this snare? That might be kind of cool. Let's play around with it. Maybe I want to use super plate, or at least experiment with that. Okay, this is gonna be massive reverb, but we're gonna tame it. Yeah. Kind of thinking of keeping that snare reverb kind of light and bright. Just in fact, we'll probably keep it very like dry, right? And what's going to help bring this forward though is I think we're going to add a little splash of compression to these drums. Probably after this drum bus. Yeah, right here. I don't know though, that's kind of killing our kick. I'll tell you guys what we could do. We could slip this in just on the snare. Curious, what if we would go limiting instead. Output, yeah, then put our gain reduction on output +4. Whew. Okay, now I'm kind of feeling like some of these details can kind of come forward. It's a little bit loud. Let's get this horn section just a little bit more vibrant. And we also got to be kind of considering where we want to space these. So we've got these horns are going to stay where they are, right? We've got this kind of delay detail, the synth lead that kind of delays on the heads of the notes. So I don't think we want to throw it like too far on the sides, but I think we could kind of lean it to a direction and maybe have that be countered by over here with this fairy bell. Fact, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, let's say like maybe 6 to the left on this guy. So he's kind of leaning left. Maybe even further than that. Okay, that's good. Now, what if we put this one a little bit farther to the right, this fairy bell? Maybe like 12. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking of a dichotomy here where I want these guys, these synth keys, to be really, really wide. I want that to really come in on the sides, and then I want this guy to be very monoed in the center. Maybe not monoed, because it does have that nice little delay aspect, but let's start playing with it. So I'm already thinking probably our best tool for getting those synth keys to really like widen up. Maybe we use some micro shift, the same stuff that we used on these Rhodes. Yeah, micro shift. I can speak by Sound Toys. Let's just play with it. We'll see. It might be a little bit too extreme, you know? Oh, this already feels like it has a little bit of more character to it because, so like the way that micro shift is working is it is kind of causing some intentional phase, right? To kind of get it this doubled like stereo feel, which inherently makes it sound like really wide, right? But in achieving width through these means, through using microshift, it kind of gives the same sort of dissonance that you get from using like a chorus effect, you know, where these sound waves are the same, but they are slightly out of line. And so we get this kind of like dissonance, right? That's kind of cool. Let's play with it. Yeah, and I want these guys to be dead, like, mono. I see I've got them leaned, like, 2 to the right. This feels a little bit more left-leaning. So I think that actually works really nicely. Maybe we go ahead, slide this a bit to the right, just like a bit. Okay. It's feeling good, guys. This is feeling really good. I'm having fun. What was this that I had here? Yeah, I decided not to use that. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of it so we don't confuse ourselves. Okay, now this is beautiful. I love it. I love it. It needs to be louder. Boy, I'm really appreciating that reverb on that snare that we did earlier. Maybe we bring this a little bit more center. It's okay for things to hang out in center. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like I just typically enjoy leaning things a little bit to the left or the right by various degrees, but there's really nothing wrong with center. Okay. Wow, beautiful. All right. Okay, now I think we need to kind of like back it up a little bit, listen and observe, but just kind of take a step back for a minute. Like, let's just listen to it and kind of allow for observations to come to us rather than, trying to zero in so much on this or that, So I'm actually going to turn my volume up a decent amount and kind of listen, not too loudly, but out of more like, I've been kind of listening a little bit more quietly because I've been kind of zoomed in on, gain staging and really just trying to kind of like nudge things up, nudge things down. Now I'm going to kind of bring it up to what I would consider to be like a normal listening volume. These drums could come down. I think I want these horns to come up a bit. And I'm not going to touch these horns too much. They sound golden right now. I think as we moved these to the sides, it kind of, I feel like the more that you move something to the right or the left, the louder it kind of comes in that ear. And I feel like because we've scooted this so far to the right, we might just drop this a little bit. I'm thinking a little splash of compression on these synth keys could sound magical. We'll see. Bring this over. Let's turn it down a little smidge. In fact, actually, that's a lot. Now that that's like more full-bodied with the compression on there, I feel like we can afford for this to be a little quieter in the background. I feel like there's some slight reverb that we could put on this to kind of like make it feel a little bit more lively. And in fact, you know, yeah, maybe a live resonant. I'm just going to experiment for a minute. I want to try something because I'm not sure if this is going to be the right kind of reverb, but this could have potential to give this some more nuance and kind of like open it up, let it breathe a little bit. There's this one reverb that I really have been enjoying. It has come in clutch, like especially lately. I just did a really complicated mix where I utilized this reverb quite a bit to kind of give a live sort of feel. Really, what I like about this reverb is it's very good at kind of emulating an open space studio sort of feel, like a live room sort of feel. I don't know if you guys have ever really, I mean, I haven't really spent much time in studios, but I know that there's a certain sound when you record in a open space studio, like you're not in a booth, you're in their live room, quote unquote, where you would probably be doing like a lot of drums and stuff like that. There's a certain sound to it. It feels very like NPR Tiny Desk concert-esque, you know? It's subtle, right? But this just feels so much more lively to me. Yeah. And that's really what we're doing, you know, aside from just balancing things, we're kind of breathing some life into this track. Guys, I think we're getting there. I think it almost might be time to start mastering. Something I was kind of considering was panning out small aspects of the hi-hat pattern, but I kind of don't want to overcomplicate a good thing. Right now, this sounds like such a good thing, right? I don't want to mess it up, right? So I think we're going to keep the hi-hats in center where they are. I don't think that's a bad decision. I know I'm constantly telling you guys, like, oh, pin your hi-hats. It's great, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the vibe for this track. Because I kind of like having all these other small, like these roads are really wide and on the sides, and then we get small, like, delay details on the sides. And I kind of want for those to be the only things touching the sides, It's kind of a fun contrast. Yeah, that's nice. I do feel like we could, like, slide into this, though, a little bit. Okay, maybe we will do a little bit of production tweaking. Just a little bit of production tweaking. I'm thinking maybe just, like, the slightest little riser. And I think I know exactly what kind of riser I want to use. Just to kind of help with that transition, So, let's see. It's... Oh, no. Yeah, it's... let me... Riser. We're going to go into the schematics folder. This is actually a stem from some sample. But I like it because it's like a very kind of underwhelming riser. It's very subtle. It's very... You guys will hear. I think it's this guy. Let's hope. Let's see. We can hope and dream. Yeah, some of this looks about right. Let's see. Warping off. Okay, let's chop some of this nonsense away. In fact, let's just zoom in. Yeah. Okay. And let's get this really lined up. This is where we want to be, right? No. This is not where we want to be. Yeah. Something like that. All right, let's get this really tucked in nicely. Tucked in nice and tight. There we go. That looks good. Let's hear that. Yeah, except we could probably turn this down. Make it even more subtle. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Is there anywhere else in here that's going to be assisted? Possibly over here. No, actually, I like how that just, like, fucking... It smacks with that snare, and it's like, oh, we're in it. Yeah, I think that's really it. Okay, we did one production detail. One tiny little guy. I don't think that really is going to need much touching up. It's just like the gain staging, and that's about it. Because it's got a little bit of reverb on it, honestly. Although, something that can kind of help tie it in a little bit more. Put a little bit of this side chain so that that kick kind of punches into it. It's subtle, but I promise it makes a little bit of a difference. Let's play around with just nudging these birds in the background up and down. I'm not really too concerned about the volume of these birds because I guess I'm like, it's okay if they're a little bit too quiet right now because we're about to master this and do a lot of compression, which is going to lift up All of these tiny little details. So I don't want to overshoot it, is I guess really what I'm saying. Let's revisit the gain stage of the drums. Okay, I think that's sounding good. But yeah, what's up, Aiden? He says, yo, Tap, should I get a CD signed by the weekend? Let's see. Should you? Nah, no, I'm kidding. Definitely, man, you should. Oh, by the way, what's up? Signature Music Services. How you doing, man? Oh, hell yeah. He says, cool work, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just mixing down something for an upcoming EP that I'm about to drop. Kind of a silly EP. This song is the title track to the EP, and the EP is called Snack Time for Turtles. And it's just some feel good beats. It's just some I don't know. I'm kind of airing out some of my more eccentric stuff, and then I land them on the final track of the EP. This nice little, it's like a nice little arrival point. The title track, Snack Time for Turtles. It's very triumphant. I don't know. I like it. But yeah. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. I think we're getting there. This is kind of where I'm really just kind of listening, and sometimes I'm kind of nudging things in pretty broad ways. I feel like by the time I get towards the end of a mix, like right there, I was just, regain staging the drums, putting a little bit more emphasis on the kick. Oh, let's EQ our snare. We really haven't messed with EQ on our snare, surprisingly. That's usually one of the first things I do. I just was enjoying the sound of the snare so much, I didn't really even think. Now, I think really some things to note about snares, right? The more mid-range you give it, the more punch you're going to get. The more, mid-high you give it, the more like slap it's going to get. Sometimes the solution is just to boost the highs, right? But let's just like fuck around with it, Oh, somewhere around that 1000 hertz is kind of a fun place for I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how other mix engineers feel about this, but sometimes I like to do silly things with my snares. And this is just purely me. I'm both a mix engineer and a hip hop producer, so sometimes I feel like I'm doing kind of wonky things because I like how it sounds, just like as a producer, And sometimes I'm doing wonky things. I'm not sure. I don't think I really want to give it like a huge weird spike, right? But I can't deny this feels good. That feels good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this snare too harsh now? I mean, that is kind of the trade-off when you make a boost like that in the mid-highs like that, pretty much above 1000. Sometimes that kind of has a tendency to be a little bit more harsh, but I think it's kind of cool. It's like very snappy right now. Woo. Yeah, I'm liking the vibe of this. I'm thinking right up here at about 2000s. Pretty cool. All right, let's give it another listen through. Kind of like I'm doing my last couple passes, right? Just making sure that there's nothing that I missed, making sure that this feels satisfying, because we're about to pass it off to the master chain. We're going to start mastering this in a minute here, but I just know that usually by the time that I'm like starting to put my first couple like compressors on my master chain, I usually start noticing things about my mix that I'm like want to go back, and I'm trying to like minimize that. But, you know, we'll work it until we are satisfied with how this sounds. God, this is such a good vibe. I'm having a very good day working on this, you know? This puts me in a good mood. Oh, and when I'm done with this, I'm gonna go down by the pool with my wife, and we're gonna have a beer and just chill, and it's gonna be a lovely day. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna listen to Snack Time for Turtles. It's gonna be great. See, I feel like I think about this snare differently when I hear it in this more like minimalized section. Like, is this still vibing? Is I guess really the question. Let's also maybe mess with the compression. I think that kind of helps it. Now I think we kind of need to regain stage it. That's typically my process when I'm like applying compression. Honestly, a lot of the times when I'm doing compression is I like to bring the volume up and then I compress and I get it sounding compressed, but then I regain stage it so that I am, you know, a little bit more objective about, am I liking the compression or am I liking the loudness, because loudness good, you know? It's a good question, you know. I trying to kind of eliminate loudness bias wherever I can. This snare's sounding tasty, man. Tasty. We might even dial it back just like a hair on this reverb. Because, you know, we just touched the compression on that snare. And I think that we've really brought the reverb tail forward a little bit more. So what if we just like backed off on the dry wet a little bit on this? turn up my volume. This is sounding good. Okay, guys, I think we're sounding good. Let's let this play out. Actually, let's start it from the beginning, and I'm going to pull up on the master a loudness meter, because I just want to see where we're starting before we dive in with our master chain. And I also am just really, I want to let this play through. First of all, to listen again, make sure we're really satisfied with everything, right? But also because I just want to ensure that the max peak value is below 0. And if it is, by how much? How much room do we have to grow? Good question. So anyways, this is a free loudness analyzing tool. It's called Loudness Meter 2 by Ulean, and you guys can go download it for free. It is a great tool for just listening to your loves. Yeah, Aiden says just did it. You just did what? Did you get your CD signed by the weekend? You were that was the last thing you were saying. Did you actually get your CD signed? Wait, what? He says, I think I want to go to his concert in Philly. Dude, you should. You should. That sounds like an awesome time, man. That's so cool. No, that's awesome. If you do get it signed, you should post a picture of it in the Discord or something. That's kind of cool, man. All right. Let's see it. And also, we're looking at this number down here as well. I guess it's also shown as true peak max. Yeah, we could just watch that if we want. But yeah, let's see where the LUFS is at, what our average dynamics is. Kind of aiming for about 10 LOU. Boy, yeah, it's got quite a dynamic range, honestly. We'll see, though, once we really compress it, it's gonna squish, so. This is very quiet, and we're at -5 on our max peak, so we're in a good spot. We can bring this up quite a bit, we're gonna make this loud but clean, loud and cool. But yeah, Aiden says, yep, I got a CD signed by the weekend. Oh, that's sick, man. Oh, I'm glad you did, man. That's awesome. That's really cool, man. He says, oh, I just bought a CD that's been signed by the weekend. Oh, okay, I got you. Still, either way, it's a cool thing to have, man. That's really cool. And honestly, I feel like nowadays, it really makes sense to, if you are going to buy a physical copy of some music that you really enjoy, I feel like a lot of the reason to own something like that nowadays is kind of the, I don't know what's the word, just the coolness of having the physical media, Because let's be real, we all listen to music on streaming services for the most part. That's how people consume music nowadays. But that hasn't really deterred from my appeal to collect physical media, And I feel like if you're gonna invest in physical media, you may as well, if you can get a signed version, that's always cool. That's really cool, It's like extra coolness points on getting your physical media, All right, yep, -5.16. So, yeah, that's good. Yeah. He says, if I go to his concert, I'm going to hold up a sign that says, "Let me sing with you." Wilding out at the Weeknd concert. No. All right. So yeah, we got a lot of room. And rather than just immediately bringing this up, I kind of want to compress this using a master compressor, right? So guys, we're switching gears. We're diving in with the mastering process now. Now our objective shifts from making something that is very balanced to now taking this well-balanced thing and making it commercially loud, right? Now, the first thing that I like to throw in my master chain is this compressor from Shadow Hill. And I'm going to allow for this compressor to raise the decibels a little bit. I just like how music sounds as I start to push it through this compressor, right? So, we're going to just kind of experiment with it, and then we're going to reevaluate kind of where we're at with our max peak value after we've really let this kind of get pushed through this compressor. And then we're going to start to really nudge it up to the 0 decibel point. And I always like to kind of do a little bit of a breakdown of like, what is this complicated ass looking, compressor here. So just to break this down for you guys, there's 2 modes to this. We got stereo mode and mono mode. Stereo mode means that this side of the compressor is going to control both the left and the right speakers, right? Now, if we were to put it into dual mono, then this side becomes active as well, and these do the exact same things, except this is applied to the left and this is applied to the right. I don't really know why you would want to, I'm sure that there's some cases where that makes sense, but I'm just enjoying stereo mode. That's what I typically am using this for. Now, aside from that, we can break down this compressor even further into 2 different compressors, okay? So in this section, these 2 knobs up here, basically, this is our optical compressor. And what I notice about the optical compressor, and this is just from, I don't know, I've probably put about 6 hours into this plugin so far, so I'm still learning things, This isn't like a plugin that I've been using for years. This is something that I've been learning in the past couple of months, and just my first honest impressions is that optical compression feels pretty smooth. It feels pretty clean. I feel like I can kind of push the optical compressor and it kind of preserves my drums pretty well. Now, aside from that, we've also got down here, all of these knobs. This is our discrete compressor. These are 2 different compressors kind of working in tandem. And you guys will see this first needle right here. This applies to our optical compressor, and this second one applies to our discrete compressor. Now, just I was just telling you guys about how I feel about this optical compressor. What I've noticed about this discrete compressor is that this is very good at bringing more body into the equation. It kind of gives the track feeling like it's got a little bit more body to it. Now, I will say the more that I push on that discrete compressor, the more that we're likely to kind of like squish our drums a little bit. That's kind of been my impression thus far. If any of you guys have used this compressor, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment, write me an email. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys that also use the Shadow Hills Master compressor. I've been really enjoying this thing. All right. Also, we're going to turn on sidechain. That usually sounds pretty good. Let's start with it. Let's just jump ahead to where we got the drums. Okay, I'm going to start bringing the threshold up on this optical. There we go. We can see that. Let's start raising the volume. I think that's sounding pretty good. Let's start raising this discrete compressor. And I actually really like the default settings for this. I feel like as I start messing with the attack and recover, the release, I don't know, I start to get weird pumping. We might mess with the ratio a bit, but let's just start with the threshold. See what I mean by that discrete really brings in more body? Let's turn the discrete gain down by 1 and we'll turn the optical up by 1. So oh, this is sounding nice. Let's bring our loudness meter back behind. Wow, we really haven't raised the decibels too much here. It's about where it was at. It just sounds so much more full and rich. We could play with this ratio a bit though. I'm just curious. Honestly, not noticing too much of a difference is probably because we got our attack like way up here, we got our release way down here. And I don't know about these. These are like different platings, but to be honest with you guys, I never hear a difference between these. Maybe if you're running something really hot, you might be able to tell, but I genuinely can't. So, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. We'll just say nickel. That sounds fine. Alright. Where are we at? Minus 5.2 decibels? That is not bad at all. We're gonna bring this up quite a bit. I want to get this like close to 0. And then we're gonna use the maximizer from Ozone to really do a lot of work. I'll just show you guys what I'm gonna do. Alright, so taking a look at our max peak value, it is minus 5.28. Let's just boost it by 5 to get us in the ballpark. That's what we're doing. Alright, so bum 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 bum. There we go. Plus 5. This is going to be much louder, but let's let it run all the way through. Make sure that our max peak value is below 0 decibels. Luffs are still pretty quiet. I'm kind of aiming for between minus 8 and minus 10 luffs. I think that's going to be about the spot, you know? really vibing with the sound of that snare. Let's double, triple check our max peak. Minus 0.19, that is perfect. God, what a lovely vibe for today. Okay, guys. Now it's time to really bring this up, right? We got it pretty much close to 0 decibels at our max peak value after the compression. That compression sounds really lovely. And then we brought it up as close as we can to 0 decibels. Now is where we're really going to run the last leg of the mile and hit our LUFS value, raising this by about 5 to 7 LUFS. It's going to be kind of difficult to keep this sounding clean, keep those drums bumping, but still hitting the LUFS value that we want. Now, something to kind of note, all right, before we really dive into this. I was kind of saying I'm aiming for a range of LUFS between minus 10 LUFS and minus 8. That's just like around where my music typically lands, right? But I predict that this is going to land on the lower side of that, probably closer to minus 10 LUFS. And really why I predict that is because there is no bass in this song. Bass is something that has the potential to inflate your LUFS values. And so, you could have something at pretty much the same amount of LUFS, but maybe one of these actually sounds louder than the other. And it might just be because there's certain things that sometimes just inflate the value of LUFS, right? At least that's been my experience anyways. I don't know. Let's dive into it. Now here's where I'm going to commit the age-old sin of busting out ozone elements. But really, for 2 reasons, okay? I am going to let it generate some bullshit, but then we're probably going to change it all. But really, it's because I want to use the maximizer that comes with ozone. And, and it's going to generate an EQ. We're going to A/B test the EQ that it generates. We might change it. We might just turn it off. But I feel like we have nothing to lose by considering it, right? So, yeah, signature music. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I'm curious. I assume you're also a mix engineer, I would assume. Signature Music Services. That sounds like a mixing title. I'm just curious what you think of my process here. I come from a production background, and I've just been freelancing mixing services for the past year just to kind of pay some bills. And I feel like that has really done a lot for me lately. It's given me a lot of purpose and reason as to, really diving into my mixing practices and making sure that I'm like really hitting good results for the people that are hiring me, All right, let's bring Ozone 9 elements onto here. I know, age-old sin. Here we go. I can hear all of the master engineers crying out. No. Let's bring this back around to the section with the horns. Yes, just this section over here. We're going to run this high, and we'll just let it generate, Ooh, it's kind of pushing those kicks a little bit hard. Let's see what kind of... Okay, this isn't a bad EQ. Doesn't look like anything crazy. Let's start with some A/B testing. hey, you know, I think I've kind of made a decision about this EQ. And I think I've decided I like this. You know, it's not a super controversial EQ. It's not doing anything too crazy, but it is doing two things for me. I think you guys could visually see that. But just to break it down for you guys, I think what I like about this is this boost on the low end right here is making that kick feel a little bit more satisfying and full-bodied. I like that, you know. Also, you'll notice this little boost up above 10,000 hertz. I mean, I feel like this could be doing a number of things for us. I think what I mostly hear it doing is it's kind of picking up a lot of the bird sounds, you know, a lot of the more high frequency information there and kind of bringing it forward. And it also just kind of helps the track overall feel a little bit brighter just because, like, you know, some of the super, super high end that we're getting from, like, for example, the snare is also kind of being brought forward. So, you know what? I think I'm going to keep this EQ. I know I'm a dirty bastard. I let Ozone generate an EQ for me, and I actually liked it. How crazy. Very taboo. Very taboo. Now, let's get in with this maximizer. This might be giving us some issues. We might be trying a few things here. Now, first of all, I'm going to turn on to a true peak. We're going to put that ceiling up at 0. We don't need to, like, limit anything below 0, honestly. Okay. So, I don't know, though. I was a little bit worried at first, hearing that kick get, you know, really squished through that maximizer. I am kind of liking, though, the intensity of it. Let me A/B test this. No, that's doing some good stuff, actually. I feel like that's we might play with this threshold a bit. Let's bring it back to the beginning. We're gonna let this play out in full, and I'm gonna be paying attention to our loudness meter right here. We'll let both these things kind of play out, and yeah, we can just kind of watch as all this goes. All right, let's see what LUFS we're at. I don't know. See where we need to push things, right? Hell yeah. Thank you, Signature. Now, something to ask yourselves. Listen to this at high volume. What's the first thing grating on your ears? I would say that snare has potential to be kind of harsh, but I'm not ready to go gut it yet. Wow, the LUFS value is actually close to our target. I might push this a smidge. We might push this a smidge, but before we do, I do think there is something I kind of want to correct. I was just saying, listen at a loud volume, ask yourself, what is the first thing that is kind of grating on your ears? To me, it's kind of that snare is a little bit intense. We might take off this master chain. We're just going to toggle it off, go back, do a little bit of regain staging on that snare specifically. And then we're going to turn everything back on, see how it sounds, But yeah, what's up, P-Beaster? How you doing, man? How you doing? Glad you could make it, dude. How's your day going, man? Let's see. Let's listen for the intensity of that snare first of all. It's not too far off from where it needs to be, right? Honestly, it is quite reasonable right now, I would say, but I do want to turn all of this off. So this is about to get very quiet for just a second. And I want to just listen. Okay, yeah, that snare does have a decent amount of weight to it. So we're gonna turn that down a little bit, regain stage it. But yeah, P-Beaster saying having a good day so far. Just got done working out. Hell yeah, buff man. He says, B sounds dope. How's your day? Oh, chilling, man. I'm honestly having a really good day. I think it really is just that I really love this track. I'm just like, I don't know, this feels very, very satisfying for me today, just working on this track. This is, I don't know if you heard me earlier talking about it, but this is actually the title track for an EP that I've got lined up for, I'm not exactly sure how far out it's going to be, but the EP's name is Snack Time for Turtles. And this is the title track. This is the last track on the EP. I kind of like the whole vibe of this EP is I'm kind of throwing some eccentric beats at you. And then on the last track, we hit this very like celebratory, like triumphant kind of chill ass trap beat called Snack Time for Turtles. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Okay, let's bring this down a bit. Okay, that's sounding a lot more reasonable. I turned it down by 2 decibels, actually. It's a good amount, Yeah. Oh, all right. Woo! Now that we've done that, I would encourage you guys to put your volume back to, like, I don't know, beforehand we were listening to it very loudly. We turned off the master gain, the master chain, and I brought my volume back down as well to more accurately hear the differences in volumes between the tracks, right? I regained stage the snare, and now I turned it back on. I listened to it loudly. I'm like, it's still a little bit harsh, but it's a little bit more manageable. Now I'm returning to a normal listening volume, and I'm just trying to make sure that this still sounds balanced, Yeah, P-Beaster saying, sounds good. Can't wait to hear the EP. Ah, hell yeah, man. Oh, man, and speaking of EPs, as we are zeroing in on the last bit of this, for any of you guys that haven't heard yet, I've actually got a different EP dropping tonight. You guys are watching me like way far ahead in my release schedule, honestly. Snack Time for Turtles is a bit of a later project, but this is the rate that I move at. But tonight, though, if you're eager to catch a new TapDaddy EP, tonight at midnight, this new EP, Last to Leave Earth. This is dropping at midnight tonight, 7 hours, 9 minutes. I'm so excited for this one to come out, man. This is like, I would describe this EP as like very, very positive, like uplifting sounding boom bap tracks. They're pretty big sounding tracks. These are kind of like the tracks that I like to listen to in the morning to get pumped, you know, for the day. Just a little taster, little taster of the style, you know. Last to Leave Earth, man. It's gonna be so sick. I'll drop a little pre-save link for any of you guys trying to catch this. You know, if you guys are interested, here's the link to it. Definitely check it out. Dropping tonight. I'm so excited for this, man. Anyways, dude, we are a hop and a skip away. We are a hop and skip away. Thank you, P. Beaster. I hope you enjoy this, man. I really hope you do. All right. Let's put the kibosh on that. I'll let you guys check it out for yourself. But, yeah, awesome title. I'm glad you dig that, man. I'm glad you dig that. Yeah. You know, I was just thinking of, you know, I don't know, the title track really prompted the name Last to Leave Earth. You'll hear it when it drops. And then I've been sitting on this artwork. This was actually the original artwork for Creme de la Creme. And I knew that this song was going to make this EP, and this just feels so fitting for Last to Leave Earth. I don't know. I just think it's going to be so cool, you know? Yeah. God damn. What's up? Aeon Star. He's like, God damn, you look like Tom Brady. I will take that as a compliment. I will take that as is that your way of saying that I look like a very handsome fellow? I'll take it, man. I'll take it. How's your day going, dude? All right. Let's hear this. We're so close to the final master of Snack Time for Turtles. Let's check it out. Let's see where we're at. I think we're going to want to boost this like a little bit more. And I think I'm going to use a master limiter to kind of bring it up there. There we go. All right, Snack Time for Turtles. God damn. I love this song, dude. I love this song so much. Woo! Let's full screen this again. Get our loudness meter up. It's gonna be timeless. Okay, you can see we're zeroing in on our target love, so I think we just need to push it a little bit harder. But rather than pushing it on that maximizer, I want to throw a master limiter after ozone and just kind of push it a little bit further. We're going to just kind of shove it face first into the ceiling a little bit. You know, maybe by like a decibel, maybe 2. If we're feeling frisky, if we're feeling crazy, we'll see. Well, I'm surprised at how clean this has stayed. You know, this has stayed very clean no matter how much we're like lifting this. You know, that feels good. That feels really good. Okay, so really I think target LUFS is about -10. I was telling you guys kind of a range between -10 and -8. Let's get, oh shit, I don't have Ableton's master limiter from Ableton Live 12 because we're actually working in Ableton Live 11 just because it's a little bit more friendly with stream. It like, my computer starts shitting bricks, you know, whenever I'm trying to live stream and use Ableton Live 12 at the same time. But that said, I can just use just a normal limiter and basically do the same thing. There's really only like a few reasons why you might want to use the master limiter. It really has to do with coloration. But this is a very tasty track so far. I don't think we're going to need it much. Okay, that ceiling, we're going to put it all the way up to 0 dB, but then we're going to kind of like face first shove this. Let's start with 1 decibel. Start with these horn sections. Woo! Dude. Oh, I'm liking the clarity that we have, and it's very loud. It's good. All right, I've heard enough. I think that this sounds really good. Now, let's go back. Let's do our final pass through. This is the last chance to make changes, right? After this, it's done and over with. Let's listen to it. And we're probably going to mix another one after this, so don't go anywhere. But let's listen through this and let's see what our final LUFS value is. We're actually a little bit more on the low side of the LUFS, you know? We might push this a little bit more. Let's let it play out in full, but then, yeah, I kind of want to, like, poke it a little bit, you know? It's gonna be good. God, what an awesome track. I love this. This just, like, makes me, like, I love music that kind of feels wholesome. I don't know how to describe it other than that, you know? Yo, what's up, Cinnamon? How you doing? Yeah, Cinnamon says, where do y'all live? I'm in Mass. Oh, well, welcome on in, dude. Watching stream while in Mass. No, I'm kidding. I'm from Colorado. I'm in America. I'm in Colorado. Just living large, you know, living the life. But yeah, where are you from, dude? Okay, we're at like minus 10.4 LUFS. I think we could push this up a little bit more. Oh, wait, in Mass. You were saying Massachusetts, weren't you? I thought you were just telling me that you were Catholic and you were just going to church, watching, streaming church. Just, I thought, I don't know. That's genuinely what I thought for a minute. I was like, oh, right on. Massachusetts, I assume. Okay, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm in Colorado. Yeah. Yeah, he says near Boulder. I'm in Massachusetts. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a Midwest kind of guy over here. Now, I feel like Colorado I would describe as like a cultural hub of the Midwest. I think it kind of sticks out from the rest of the Midwest. We're kind of a fun state. I don't know. Actually, I like living in Colorado. I've lived here my whole life, you know. So yeah, I think we do want to push this a little bit. Instead of pushing this limiter anymore, I think I am going to pull up this maximizer and just pull back on this maximizer a little bit. Have you been to Red Rocks? Surprisingly enough, I really haven't. I really haven't. I think part of that's just because, I really haven't hit a ton of concerts. There was like a good little while in college that I was like kind of more active going out, seeing a lot of concerts. I had a good group of friends that was just like really into like ska music. So we were constantly driving down to like the Boulder Theater and just like various places like in Denver. To see, but we never really made it out to Red Rocks, oddly enough. I should go, but the prices of tickets have just been skyrocketed. I feel like anybody playing at Red Rocks, you're looking at least a $200, $300 ticket, Yeah, Cinnamon saying, what, dude, I'm jonesing to go see a show there. Oh, man, well, if you do, take me with you, okay? Yeah. I'll just sneak in your bag. Just hide me. It'll be good. It'll be okay. I would go see anybody at Red Rocks, honestly. I would go. I don't give a fuck what we're seeing. I'll see it. I'll see it all. All right. So yeah, we're sitting at 5. Sorry, I'm like so distracted today, but I'm like having such a fun time just talking with you guys. Let's This is the section I want to listen to while I pull back on this. Okay, I think that's about my limit. How far back I can kind of pull on that. Oh, and we could maybe just by like 0.2 of a decibel push this limiter a little bit. 1.2. Let's just try that. Shit, that's cool. Hey, yeah, Cinnamon says I have some homies that used to live in Telluride. I wanna check that place out too. Oh yeah, dude, I drink beer from Telluride Brewing. Yeah, shit. I've got an empty can sitting on my desk from a night or two ago. Yeah, this was a India Pale Ale. Telluride Brewing. I don't know, man. I know that they make good beer. I'm trying to think where in Colorado Telluride is. I want to say it's kind of up in the mountains, is it? It's kind of like one of those smaller towns, that's like, I'm trying to remember where it's from, if it's like kind of up in the mountains by Manitou or like, yeah, I can't remember for the life of me, but I just know that I drink beer from Telluride for sure, Telluride Brewing. That's actually a pretty good brewery here in Colorado. All right, let's run this back. Let's listen to it in full. Let's get the final LUFS value. Hopefully the final LUFS. We might shift it around a little bit more. But yeah, near Moab. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm up in northern Fort Collins. I'm in northern, not northern Fort Collins, northern Colorado. I'm in Fort Collins. But yeah, close to Utah western part. Yeah. See, I never end up going over the mountains very much. I'm like on the eastern slope of the Rockies, you know? I grew up in Colorado Springs, and I moved to Fort Collins for college, and that's where I met my wife, and that's kind of where we've settled down is Fort Collins, you know? God, this is such a good, feel-good vibe, man. Yeah, home of New Belgium. Dude, I love New Belgium. Also, little life tip about New Belgium. They give free tours. And you get free beer on their free beer tours. So sometimes what I like to do, whenever I've got like homies visiting, or sometimes me and my wife just like to do it, we've taken the tour like 7 times. It's actually pretty great. You get about 2 or 3 free beers, and then we usually just hang out, get another beer, chill, you know? But yeah, anytime you guys are in Fort Collins and you're looking for something to do, go sign up for a New Belgium beer tour. They're one of the only breweries that actually just like give out free beer on their tour. Well, actually, that's not true. There's a couple in Fort Collins that do free beer on the tours. And the tours are usually free to sign up for. Yeah, free postcards at the brewery too. I went there once. Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know about the postcards. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of my favorite things to do is just like, and especially if you get there early in the morning when they open, if you can get on the first tour, you're pretty much guaranteed to get in, you know? Dude, minus 10 lufs. What did I tell you guys? I was like, between -8 and minus 10 lufs, and I predict it's going to be minus 10 because of the absence of the bass. I told you guys. I called it. That's pretty. Funkworks. That's another one that has a great tour. Yeah, Funkworks is good sour beer brewery near Fort Collins. God, last time I was at Funkworks, I ended up taking their tour, but honestly, there were like fewer people that went on the tour than they were anticipating. It was a quiet day, and so they were like, well, we poured enough beer for like 20 people, but there's only 12 of us here. You guys want more beer? We were like, yes. What kind of question is that? Of course. And yeah, it's great. Honestly, beer tours in Fort Collins is a great way to get drinks for free. I don't even have to put on a pretty dress or anything, or you know, I don't even have to go twist anybody's arm for it. They're just handing out free beer over here. Anyways, god damn. Minus 10 lufs. That's awesome. We should hear this back just once more because I think that we pretty much landed on it. Oh. God damn, I've had so much fun just talking with you guys. This has been such a fun stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for like watching me mix this and keeping me company. Yeah. I see, Signature says, yeah, same background and publishing. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, are you talking about, I asked you earlier about, like, are you a mix engineer as well? Yeah, he says, yeah, same background and publishing. Hell yeah. Your good vibes help keep it groovy. Thank you. I'm just having a good day today, man. Snack time for turtles got me in a good mood. And I got an EP coming out tonight. So excited. I've said this 1,000 times in the stream, but you know, for those of you guys that haven't seen yet, Last to Leave Earth dropping tonight in 6 hours and 50 minutes and 31 seconds. Go check it out. It's some more like really feel good hip hop. But anyways, god damn. Thanks, Tom Brady, says Aeon. Oh, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. Oh, man. I was thinking about doing another one, but we've only got 50 minutes left, and I'm not sure if I would finish one by then, so I think I might call it here. But I just wanted to sincerely thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to be live again on Saturday, just making beats, 3-hour studio session. If you guys are game for it, come through. come through. I'd love to shoot the shit with you guys while I make some music, you know? So, yeah. Oh, dude. This is so good. Let's let this play out. Oh, man. I feel like we hit the nail on the head here. I don't know how this mix could have come out any better. I just like how this came together. And exactly minus 10 LUFS. That's like so perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm off to enjoy a nice Fort Collins beer by the pool with my lovely wife. So that's what I'm off to go do. I hope you guys have an equally lovely day. Thank you, Cinnamon. I like the horns. Nice little touch. I know that those horns really like made this, man. Really made this special. I don't know. But anyways, you guys are going to hear this. This is the title track to an upcoming EP, Snack Time for Turtles. You know, go follow me on Spotify if you guys want to keep in the loop with all of the upcoming discography. I've got lots of really cool stuff in the works, and I'd love for you guys to all hear it. So thank you guys so much. My name is TapDaddy, and until next time, happy mixing, happy producing, happy music making. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.